me, Chris, a little perspective. Chris.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, Toastmaster guests, a little bit of both. Who here can tell me what physical attribute Napoleon Bonaparte is known for? Short. Correct. Even to the point where a Napoleon syndrome or Napoleon complex, where a short man has a bad attitude, is referred to Napoleon Bonaparte. But a fact and a historical perspective that's off is that he really wasn't short for his time. He was actually 5'7", and for that time period, was above average. What about Henry Ford? Anybody tell me what Henry Ford is known for in America? Assembly lines, cars. His name's become synonymous with these things. In fact, he didn't invent that. He didn't invent the automobile. He didn't invent the assembly line. But a historical perspective has him linked to those things, even though he didn't do it, in a good way. Recently I was at home in Detroit, where I'm from, hanging out with my grandma. And she went to take a nap, so I was flipping through her bookshelf, and I came across the history of the Detroit Tigers, written in 1946. I thought, oh, 60-year-old book, this could be interesting, I'll flip through it. And I came to a part where they referred to Ty Cobb as the greatest baseball player ever. And I thought to myself, that's silly. What? Ty Cobb? It's Babe Ruth. Everybody knows that. And I kept reading. And maybe 2 paragraphs later, they mentioned a survey of all the players in baseball in 1942. It says, Ty Cobb, greatest player ever. All of his managers, all of his co-players, everybody. Luckily, I don't live in an age where I have to take the word of a 1946 book, so I went to the Google. And I found out why, though in his time he was considered the best baseball player ever, now, with historical perspective, we don't consider him that. The reason is, it's because he was a jerk. I mean, he was a big, giant, a-hole jerk. Ty Cobb was known for this. Ty Cobb would do before games, he'd take his shoes, he'd file his spikes on his cleats to the point where they were physical spikes. And when he slid into a base and he would slide in, if you were standing in the way, he would literally cut you. He was a jerk. I mean, just a jerk. He was also a fighter, a known fighter. He wouldn't just keep his fighting to the bar room or wherever. He would fight on the field. And not just on the field, he would fight in the World Series. Actually, once even got in a fight with a fan in the stand for heckling him, and this fan didn't even have hands. He was a jerk. A serious jerk. He was also a racist. And at the time, that wasn't as big a deal as it would be now. Now you'd be thrown out of baseball for saying something bad. But he was known to take it another level. And he would assault African Americans for not giving them the right eye. And he would not want them in the room or on a train with him. He was an absolute jerk. Terrible person. But what I got out of this after reading up on this and figuring out that he was a jerk, I think there's a lesson that you and I can all take away from this. Matter of fact, I implore you. As you're going through your daily life, and you're doing your job, and you're working with your coworkers and your friends, apply the golden rule to what you do every day. Treat others as you want to be treated. Because if you don't, your kids, your grandkids, great-grandkids, they might not remember what you accomplished. They may not remember you had the best batting average, you were the youngest to do this or that. They might remember you were a jerk. But if you apply the golden rule, live your life well, treat people well, historical perspective might be a whole lot different. Thank you.